So is the bottom in for Bonk, the meme coin? I discussed that in this video, and price targets if we do get another rally in the price of Bonk. We also compare it to Dogecoin and Shiba Inu to see whether it will even do another leg up and attack all-time highs, or whether we've already seen the highest price we'll ever see for the Bonk token. So if you search for the Bonk token on Twitter or x.com, what you'll see now is a lot of people talking about whether this is the bottom in the market. But I mean, these same people have been saying that for days and weeks now, every time it moves even lower. A few people pointing out that today the Bonk price has gone up more than Solana, which means it's outperforming technically, and so on and so forth. If you look at their official site, which has 200,000 followers now, their official Twitter account, you'll see some of the roadmap and some of the kind of next phases for Bonk. If there's one thing I've learned about these meme coins, especially over the past few months, it's to keep the move going and to keep moving and breaking all-time highs again and again requires an unbelievable amount of momentum on the social side of things. And to become a Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, of course, you have to literally take over the whole of the crypto space so that everybody's talking about your coin. And rightly, some people have compared this to Dogecoin and Shiba Inu because they believe this will move the same way they did. And if it does, then this first move is only a very, very small one. And absolutely, if you're going to a market cap which is way, way higher, then yes, it could do that move. Now, in terms of market cap, if we were just talking about market cap specifically, where could Bonk move to? We can see here the current market cap is $781 million. And we can see Dogecoin here is at 11 billion, but this is after the price has crashed considerably over the last year and a half, and Shiba Inu at 5 billion. So if we were to get to, let's say, 7.8 billion, that would be a 10x move for Bonk. But that's asking a massive amount. You can see here it's number 3 anyway. It's already a massive coin, a meme coin anyway, by any means. And before we even discuss the Bonk chart, some of the other ones that have been popular recently, for example, Cock Inu, which I've talked about, you can see the issue they have. Even though their Twitter account is getting larger, socials are getting bigger, and this is regarded as probably the best premium meme coin on the Avalanche blockchain. See, they've got 42,000 followers now. So they're flying from that point of view, and they're increasing popularity, but the volume's not there. And if you have a look recently from like the end of 2023 onwards, they had a little bit of a push because obviously Avalanche, and I discussed it on the video because Avalanche mentioned that they were going to start sporting some meme coins. And maybe when that actually happens, it will help the price a bit. Who knows? But otherwise, in terms of retail, there's no volume and the volume's dying. And with meme coins, you don't have trading volume. The price is just going to slide downwards. And that's much worse than on an altcoin. So the question is it worth getting into Bonk now that it's up off the lows, shall we say? Or is it just better to invest in an altcoin in terms of a risk reward? Bonk is up 20% today. And it's broken some key resistance areas. So the first thing you want to look for is the previous swing high. Has it broken structure? It's done that. And now can it support that move? This is the next on the higher time frame. This is the next area where it needs to break. It's broken through, broken back down. We'll see if it can get above and hold. That's the first target. The next thing is there volume? Yes, there's some volume coming into the market. This is a volume breakout. That's also a very good sign. Now, when you actually scroll out, let's get onto a 4-hourly chart. You can see that off the highs, we're down 73%. Massive correction. That's big by any means. And when the meme coins get a little bit larger, you can't do classic technical analysis, but when it gets a little bit larger, you kind of can. So you can start looking at support and resistance levels and even things like Elliott wave actually. And the other thing you can see here is we bounced off a previous support level, which is a good thing to see as well. So this level we saw here, that's exactly where we bounced. So that's a good thing. So nothing wrong so far. The question is though, like I said, once volume goes out of a market, it needs a massive amount of energy to sustain a move up. To get this now rolling again and popular so that everybody's talking about it and get it back to all-time highs for 250% is going to be very, very difficult without a lot of volume. And more commonly what happens, so the probability states is much more likely what happens with things like Bonk, even though it's one of the most popular on Solana, is it gets a move up, dies back down, gets a move up, dies back down, and then slowly just withers away, like most of the meme coins. And then kind of stabilizes, like we saw with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. It just stabilizes after that. That's more likely, in my opinion. But then the argument is, and we'll discuss that now, we're so early in a bull market. If we're so early and it's already moved a little bit, are we not setting up for another move now? Especially if Solana goes to like 4, 5, 600 or something crazy like that. That's a valid argument. But let's look at Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. So this is Dogecoin, which I've talked about as well a lot on the channel. And I don't particularly like it because I don't see why people are investing in it. In what's at the moment anyway, a dead coin. And I talked about this potential fake breakout that could happen over this line. That's happened, is a fake out, and then it's broken back down again. But again, there's no significant new volume. There's a little bit of new volume coming into crypto market in general. We saw that in November, so the price rallied a little bit, but compared to all the other altcoins and a lot of the popular meme coins, massively underperform. It's important to be aware of that. What I'm interested in is scrolling right back. And if you go back to 2021, we can see it had an initial move, a big move in February, and then it kind of calmed back down. And then it went on a massive rip in April 2021, and we got to a peak in May. But what's interesting is a lot of the other coins, like the altcoins, they went on their major runs later that year, if you have a look. It was actually later, around July, August, September, and we reached the peak around November 2021. That was the peak. But notice on the meme coins, that wasn't the case. They got a little bit of a pump and a little bit of volume, but they were nowhere near back to their all-time highs. They broke out off the lows. Like this was the support level here, as you can see. So it did have a nice breakout, but it moved nowhere near. It was still down from the peak. It was still down even at this peak, 53%. Barely moved. We had a bit of a movement and barely moved. And then what did it do afterwards? It just dwindled away into nothing. And now it's way down now from its all-time highs. Now, that's the problem here, is the meme coins seem to move early in the cycle. And if that's the case, there's an argument to say we've already seen the peak in Bonk. That's quite possible. You might say, well, aren't we here? Aren't we around February 2021? Isn't this the equivalent? This is difficult to say. It's difficult to say. But then the problem is, if that is, and then we were going to get this crazy move afterwards, and this move on Dogecoin from here was another 1200%. So that's way more than even a 10x. So that's more like a 12x. Well, yeah, absolutely. That's still possible. And that's what we're talking about here. Is that going to happen? And what do we need to see on the chart? If you go back to Bonk, if you're holding Bonk and you're in profits and stuff, it's really difficult because it's to consider, look, do you rotate out of this into something stronger? There's an argument for that. Now, if you're new into it and you've bought at these lows, look, your risk is not massive here. Because if you buy here and you know this is strong support, 20% below, you can just put your stop here and it's no big deal. The thing is, if the price starts to rally up to here or here, I'd be very careful about buying it because then the drops, if it does kind of fail and fall back, are going to be 60, 70%. They're going to be more significant. If you're going to get into it, you'd want to get into it early and see how it goes. But the price, the levels I'm looking at, if you take Fibonacci, which kind of does help with meme coins a little bit more because there's mass psychology at work here, it's the 618 level here. And I can't even tell you the number because obviously it's just long strings of nothing. But around the 618 level here, that's where I'd be looking at, 0.5, 0.618. If we see price get to here, that's great. But if it breaks through here, then yeah, very likely we're going to attack all-time highs in the coming weeks and months. And maybe if the altcoins go in a massive, massive run, then this is still that initial move we saw for Dogecoin. So what that means is Bonk has done that initial move, and then maybe it will range trade for a while, like we saw with Dogecoin. Maybe it will range and not do much, and then take off. But then it could go for the 10x, and a 10x off these lows, that's kind of how the chart will look. So in terms of structure, it'd be something like this. So there'll be corrections and stuff along the way, but basically 1, 2 settling onto the high, massive 3, 4, and a 5, fifth wave move. Maybe taking us up until kind of April, May, mid 2024. But then what I think will happen is probably the same. If we got this, what will happen is that will be the high and we'll never reach anywhere there again. We'll get another little run up and down. That's probably when the altcoins will peak later, probably a few months later. If that's what's going to happen. Or this was the top already and altcoins are going to go on another run, but the meme coins aren't going to follow. It's so difficult to say because meme coins are so popular at the moment. It's just the thing is retail is not really involved. Retail is not involved. So I don't know for 100%. I think with Bonk, it's probably a coin flip. But in terms of an actual trade, I wouldn't mind a trade here. I wouldn't mind a trade because the percentages make sense. Like even to get to that 618 level I talked about, talking about 150%. Worth it for a 20% drawdown. It's probably just about worth it. You get, a 5-to-1, something like that. But as the price gets in the middle here, if it does indeed go up, I wouldn't be interested. And if the price breaks down below this support again, I really wouldn't be interested at all. Because even with all of the volume and the hype in crypto in general, if nobody's paying attention to Bonk, that's a problem. And then the other problem, and I'll discuss this on a future video, is when you look at shitcoins, meme coins, and NFTs as well, the massive problem, I think, is dilution at the moment because there are so many blockchains all offering their own NFT platforms, all have their own meme coins. Everybody's so confused. Nobody knows how to buy Injective or get onto SEI and then get onto this chain, that chain, that the trading volume is going to spread everywhere. So actually what might be a better approach for particular NFTs or particular coins in future in 2024 is find out what the best one's going to be, what the absolute 100% best area is going to be, where a lot of the volume is coming, not all of it, but where a lot of the volume is coming. And that's probably where most people are going to be buying and trading because it's just easier, convenient, more chance of making money. Can't make money unless there's volume in the market. That's what we're looking for here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you in Bonk already? Are you holding profits? Or are you looking for it to retrace? Thanks for listening.